Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right. Happy New Year's Eve, kids. Hey, we got football today. We got lots of football today. Big game tonight, Miami and Ohio State. We got the ReliaQuest Bowl, which I will be heading over to. I was going to do the show from there, Tim, this morning. Good morning to you, IndyCarTim.
Good morning.
But then I walked outside.
It's too cold, huh? I said that yesterday.
My ass off.
It might
Like,
be too
what?
cold.
It's 40 degrees outside. No, my old ass is going to be right here in this warm, toasty studio where y'all can hear me and won't be windy. So we made that call, but we'll be heading over to Raymond James Stadium to watch Vanderbilt in Iowa go at it. Kind of interesting matchup there. Great offense against a great defense. Who will crack first? We shall see.
40-degree weather is great for football.
It is
outside, but it's not great for reporting on football outside.
No, especially for my soft ass.
Yeah.
Listen, if I'm going skiing in Colorado, I have my stuff. I'm prepared. I don't care if it's 10 below or 35 degrees. Now, obviously, I would rather it have be 35, 40 degrees, which is what it usually is in April when I go. But I can do, I've done snowmobiling at 14,000 feet at 10 below. Sure. But you're prepared for it. You're ready for it. And you know what you're getting. But then going out and when you're in Florida and it's 40 degrees and the wind's blowing, feels like 32. I ain't doing it. So anyway, here we are. Here we are, kids. So we're going to get into Bucs and Panthers. I was over at the Buccaneers yesterday, so we'll give you a little touch of what happened there yesterday, what the guys are talking about, what it looks like. Spoiler alert, ghost town in the locker room.
Go figure.
Everybody's in the dining hall. I don't blame you guys. What are you going to say, right? What are you going to say? So we'll give you a little update on that. I'm going to talk a little college football with USF. It looks like with Deuce Knight leaving Auburn, their highly ranked quarterback recruit, he has entered the portal, as has Byrum Brown, as has Keyshawn Singleton, one of Byron's favorite targets. Now, we don't know anything official yet, obviously, because the portal doesn't open officially till next week, I believe. It sure looks like both of those kids are going to end up at Auburn. Yeah.
It opens on Friday.
Opens on Friday.
2nd.
Yeah. So it looks suspiciously like Alex Golish, not only according to some sources, who he spent some time in Auburn while he was supposed to be coaching USF. And obviously guys can go take interviews and still coach their team. I mean, let's not be silly about this. Yeah. But USF fans are, talking to me and like, he went to Auburn and now he's going to take our quarterback and he's going to take our receiver. I'm like, you know what? That sucks. That really sucks. So I'm going to get into that a little bit. What's going on in college football. And then we have a little teaser for you. Timmy and I were talking on the phone yesterday. And I'm like, Carson Beck has the most punchable face in sports. And he's like, you know what? We ought to do a segment on that. The most punchable faces in sports. So we're going to do that on Friday. Let's just start the new year. We're going to go negative. We'll be off tomorrow. But to start the new year, we're going to do something like, who are your most punchable faces? And you can put them in the comments today and we'll get their pictures and we'll have, we'll do a little list on Friday. But to me right now, Carson Beck is at the absolute top, but I've got some others. So be thinking about that, kids, because I know how you can be. So think about that. All right, we'll talk a little lightning as well. Whatever you guys want to bring to the table, you can. Shocking development, Tim. You know what they want to bring to the table? Fire Tide Bowls.
By the way, here's a preview of some Friday stuff.
Look at that face. I mean, do you not just want to pummel that dude?
And I'll do my best to find pictures of these individuals with the most punchable look on their face when I do this. So, yeah.
That's a good one. You just want to slug that mofo. Good God.
I can't
wait. He gets out of his Lambo. Jesus.
Does he still have that girlfriend that he went to Miami for?
No, he dumped her. He's out hoeing around.
God, who would hoe around with that mug? Good Lord.
Golly. Yeah.
I mean, I'm no looker, but I'm better looking than that.
Guys look a hell of a lot better with that big fat wallet. That's for damn sure. You're running around in college. Can you imagine? Being the quarterback at the University of Miami with $4 million or $5 million, whatever the hell they overpaid for him. $4 million in your pocket, driving around in a Lambo, making sure you go to class. And you're in South Beach.
No.
Like, damn. Johnny Manziel. Like, can you imagine Johnny Manziel would have had, I mean, he went out and made his own money. Love that. But can you imagine him in the NIL era? Holy shizbang. He'd been drunk on the field.
I mean, he was anyway.
Showing up at the game with three hoes, a bag of Coke. Hey, I'm ready to go, Mike.
Looking like Joe Namath in his fur coat and all the hose on his arms.
Oh, my Lord. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on already. But that's the world we live in.
Love sports.
All right, so let's check out and see what's happening in the Bucs basement. BA has also come out and said he doesn't like Bowles, doesn't think Bowles is getting fired. Unacceptable. Guess the Glazers like empty stadiums. Do they not realize they risk a worse record next season by keeping him?
Glaciers.
The Glaciers, yes, as Bella called them. The Glaciers, because they move at a snail's pace. Well, it cost them last year, lost Liam Cohen. So now we're stuck here with the same conundrum a year later. What do we do with Todd Bowles? You think there's fatigue in Pittsburgh? Holy moly.
Yeah.
The fatigue here for Todd Bowles is just off the chain. And, listen, I know I watched the Bruce Arians episode, and we love Bruce to death. But Bruce handpicked Todd Bowles to be the coach. Do you think he's going to go on the Pat McAfee show and say, I think Todd's fired? No. And it wasn't a ringing endorsement. It was hardly a ringing endorsement. It was like, I don't think the guy in Atlanta or Todd are getting fired no matter what happens. I don't think so. It wasn't a hearty endorsement by any stretch. It was just, I don't think so. I talked to my friends in Atlanta, and if despite the big win over the Bucs, if they keep Raheem Morris around, their sports radio is all talking about boycott the team.
They've been done with him for a while now.
Yeah, I mean that's just that's over. But here he is coming back, winning some games late in the season, and that's fool's gold. That's fool's gold.
Meaningless games. It's fool's gold.
I mean, it's nice to see them come out. I mean, it's. I think it's more damning. I think it's more damning that your team shows up on Monday Night Football against the Rams, and suddenly they're playing with fire. Well, where the hell was that all year long?
Yeah, why couldn't you get this out of them a month ago?
That's your job as the coach. They gotta. Monday Night Football. Everybody's watching us. All my friends are watching us, so I'm gonna go play hard tonight. But Sunday at 1, you can't do that. Your dog shit.
Scouts are watching me, and I need a new team next year, so I better play hard.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily think that's a ringing endorsement of either one of these coaches. Listen, you don't need to be the host of a very popular podcast to understand with all the comments that we get and look at social media and not understand the pulse of Bucs Nation. And listen, I'm not sitting here to say if you're the owners, you do what the fans want. That's not what we're talking about here. But it's like what I said yesterday, is if there's a coach that finishes under 500, and he's a 500 coach, that's what he is. You could talk about division titles all you want. He's a 500 coach.
We have enough of a body of work now of his entire
He's a less than 500 coach, actually. With the Bucs, he's a 500 coach. With his overall record, I dare say they're, save Jeff Fisher, who I think he ended up being actually 500 total for all the years. I mean, he was like freaking 8-8 every freaking year, and he kept his job forever. Kind of like Rams. Mike. Yeah, so maybe Mike Tomlin, to some degree.
JP, his career in the NFL, 178, 171, and 1.
Yeah, that is
overall 2-8 in the USFL.
Yeah, Todd's not even close to that. And it's the point is where do you see? Do you want to be mediocre? Like, do you think there's there's another rung above for Todd Bowles? Do you honestly believe that? Like, ask yourself. I mean, the best you could hope for is another 9-8 season, or maybe 10-7 you squeeze out in a terrible division. Do you really think he's a Super Bowl coach? Because that's what you're trying to do here, right? Win a Super Bowl. You really if you put if the Glazers were sitting right here, I would ask Joel, Brian, any of them, Ed, Darcy, any of them. You really think Todd Bowles can bring you to the Super Bowl? Tell me why. Come on.
And I've gotten a lot of feedback on socials talking about Todd Bowles. And, well, he was there on the Super Bowl team in 2020 as the defensive coordinator. He has the pedigree. He knows what he's doing. There is a world of difference between riding the coattails of a potentially great head coach into a Super Bowl run and leading your team into one yourself. Yeah. Those are entirely different scenarios, and not everyone can do it. And Todd Bowles. And
by the way, could you find two more diametrically opposed personalities than Todd Bowles and Bruce Arians? Not only in the way they comport themselves, but in the way they manage games.
Yeah.
No risk it, no biscuit. Man, it's no biscuit, no biscuit with Todd Bowles. It's just, there's nothing. It is a completely different tack to managing and winning football games. Yeah. Todd wants to beat you on defense and ball control, and he has a terrible defense, and he's in charge of it. There's nothing positive about this. I can't get it through my skull that could actually possibly be. So I know that there's tons of people out there that keep saying it, and it may be true. I haven't talked to the Glazers, but I've been covering this team long enough and been in this market long enough to know when I see it's over. You can bring Todd back, but you're going to have a very apathetic fan base. I don't think there's going to be any players. I don't think there's any way Mike Evans comes back to this shit show. No way. Not with this. Players have to make choices too.
And you can tell by Mike's comments on that.
Yeah.
That he's not interested.
Yeah. Why would he be? If I'm going to play 2 more years, do I want more of this?
Especially
it's mediocre.
If they keep Todd Bowles. Can you imagine the message that sends to Mike Evans if they keep Todd Bowles?
Yeah.
And Baker, for that matter.
Yeah. We all love Todd, but this is an epic collapse of NFL historical proportions. You watch the national media, and the question is, when they have to talk about the Bucs, when they're forced to talk about the Bucs because they're completely irrelevant, it's like, what the hell happened? I've never seen anything like this before. And we haven't. Statistically, we've never seen anything like this. Teams starting 6-2, losing 7 of 8, and then you look at the records of the teams that they're losing to. It's unprecedented. It's unprecedented in the history of football. We've never seen a collapse like this. To be win at Seattle, at Texans. You're 2 11, 12, 13 win teams. And the 49ers. Those players were good enough for that. What happened? Yes, injuries, sure. There have been a few, but everybody else can coach around them. Everybody else continues to get production from their team. See the 49ers. But this team doesn't. What does that tell you? It's coaching. It's game plans. You've got a defensive coach whose scheme is completely stale. Everybody knows it. Rookie quarterbacks torch it. The team is, and I asked Bowles yesterday, are you happy with the physicality of your team on defense and the effort? And he said, listen, they play hard. They play really hard. I'm not happy with the tackling, which is a lot about effort and physicality, is it not? Isn't that exactly what tackling is? Effort and physicality? Absolutely. I don't expect Todd to say, no, we're not very physical. But, he said, we're not tackling well. And I said, how do you improve if you don't have padded practices, which are not his fault, although I don't even know if they've used up all their padded practices. So it's difficult, but other teams do it. Where are the answers? None. mental mistakes, bad tackling. You know, that tells me, you know what that tells me? Coaching. That's coaching. You know, and an effort, because tackling is 90% effort and want to, if not more. And it's just not changing week in and week out. I mean, I've seen teams that have quit on the coach, quit on the system, and this is exactly what it looks like. 100% what it looks like. And if you're going to sign up for another year of this, the fans aren't. I can tell you that. The fans are out. I mean, just look at this. Just forget about it, you guys. Bowls 3 more years. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Can you imagine? We're stuck with bowls.
I can't imagine, JP, because we had Jason Garrett in Dallas for 10 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can imagine. You guys don't want any part of that. Trust me.
Yeah. Countdown till Black Monday, says formerly known as Jeff B. Well, what's going to happen? Probably nothing. Bowls is safe regardless. Captain K says, I have a question. How is Tampa a 2.5-point favorite? Hasn't anybody watched their games, especially the last 2 months? I don't know. It came out as 3. It's gone to 2.5. How can they be favored against anyone?
Because they're trying to steer the betting. That's all. That's the only reason.
Yeah. True. Yeah. Rick says, Captain K, it's because the defense has been resting all year for this game. Bucs 5, Panthers 2. He's taking the under. Aviation 1436 says, I believe in what Bruce Arians is saying, but I also believe most people are going to boost up their predecessor just like he did. Yeah. He's not going to go out there and say, I think Todd's done. He handpicked him. He's his buddy. And a lot of people aren't happy about that either. And I don't blame him. Now, you can't convince me if there was a head coaching search after Tom Brady declared the code red on Bruce Arians, allegedly.
Right.
No, because Bruce said, no, you got to put me in the Ring of Honor, and Todd's going to be the next coach if you're going to sack me. If you're going to go with Brady, and of course, if you're the Glazers, you have to. This is all my conjecture, by the way.
Right.
Based on inside information.
This is good coming soon in the JP book.
Yeah. Which, by the way, we love the raise the flags. It was fantastic, but we did kind of gloss over that. We didn't really get into that. And
I haven't got that far yet.
And I wonder if I can't say.
Careful.
Aviation says, the more you look at this roster, the more you point fingers at Jason. Poorly constructed, and it finally showed its ugly teeth this second half. You know, this is an interesting conundrum. Before the season, I was telling you this was a Super Bowl roster, and I believe that. And it was based mostly, and I said this yesterday, on the offensive line, which has been completely decimated this entire year. They have not had one game where they had their full starting 5. Most games, I think every game, they've had them be down at least 2 starters in their regular positions. So that to me is when you start what happened, that's what happened. But they won games early on with some of these guys, you know, but they haven't won any with the tandem of Feeney and Michael Jordan, except maybe the Arizona game. I know Bredesen was playing there. So they haven't with this guard tandem. And it has obviously, you know, affected the play of Baker Mayfield. Doesn't trust his protection anymore. He's running even in good pockets. That's not great. He's got to be better at that. But this is what it all stems from. Kalijah Kancey was a huge loss. That was a huge loss. Now, where I think he went wrong was depending on Hassan Reddick. That was a complete whiff. I took that one hook, line, and sinker. When I saw him in practice, when I listened to his interviews and we talked to him, I'm like, this guy's going to have a monster year. And then he showed who he is. He's just out there trying to get paid. But we all thought that he would play really hard and get paid more. I mean, what's he going to make on the open market this time? Nothing. He's just not that guy anymore.
No.
He's an undersized edge rusher who, played for some really good teams that had great players around him and was much quicker back then and was productive. He ain't that guy anymore.
No,
he ain't that guy anymore. And that was
we have a larger body of work now to prove that too. That
was a huge whiff.
Yeah.
And that was a big part of me looking at this roster going, that guy's going to get 12, 15 sacks.
How did we predict? We both predicted double-digit sacks for him.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're thinking because you said you got Cansey and Vea in the middle, and they're going to push the pocket. So you lost Cansey, and you replaced them with nothing, just a pair of shoes. Nothing. There's nothing there. And no disrespect to the guys playing that position. They're just not producing. You're not, you can't argue with that. Logan Hall, Gaines, whoever you are. Yeah, they're just not producing. They're easy marks. So that affects you dramatically. And then I would say Benjamin Morrison totally underperformed. We thought that was a second-round pick. We thought we'd get a lot from him. He's been cost you one game and has not been good. Eventually he might be. Parrish has been good. I like him. Tyke Smith was your best player until last week. I don't know what the hell happened to him last week. Antoine Winfield Jr. coming back. Oh, it's a Pro Bowl safety. He went to the Pro Bowl this year. He was invisible. I don't know how the hell the guy made Pro Bowl. He didn't make any plays this year. Maybe 2 or 3 plays, tops. No, so he was invisible. It's that defense. And Levante, look, we brought Levante back, and it was a wasted year.
We thought that was going to be a big move.
Yeah, we thought he'd play like he did last year, and he fell off the cliff. We thought Servassier Dennis was going to be really good. He's horrible. So a lot of this is misevaluation by Jason Light. Absolutely. And, a bunch of us as well. I'm not going to be a hypocrite here, but it's not my job to do that. It's his job. So, yeah.
It's our job to rag on it.
Yeah. Yeah, after the fact. That's why I say I'm going to put mine out there so I'm not a total hypocrite. But the bottom line is we were both wrong, but I don't get paid to do it. He does.
Yeah.
So, and he has a lot more resources. So, and he has to wear it. There's no question about it.
He has a whole team of people telling him that this was a good move.
Yeah. So I think there were a lot of miscalculations on this roster. No question about it. Offensively, it was a great roster, but it got absolutely gutted by the offensive line. And Baker is not a guy that is going to shoulder the entire team with a bad offensive line and no receivers like, say, a Josh Allen can do or a Patrick Mahomes can do. Nobody's saying he's in that tier. He's in the next tier. With a good team around him, he can be really, really special. And we've seen that for 2.5 years. And this last run, and it's kind of Vassie-esque, as I've made this comparison. When the Lightning are winning cups, Vassie is the best goalie in the game. And when he's even a notch below that, we're not. We don't win. And it's not that simple. I get it. But there are great transcendent players in all sports that can take this team to an elite level. And, Vassie's that guy. And for the Bucs, Baker is kind of that guy. If he's not playing superhuman football, the Bucs don't win. It's pretty simple. And it's not just play good. He has to be superhuman. He has to make, 3rd and 14, 1 through 6 tackles to get the game-winning drive going. That's been who he is. Give him some effing help. And we had that last year with the run game. Listen, we expected this offense to just pick up where they left off. And I think they would have been much better had the offensive line stayed intact. It's a huge key. But that being said, when those players go down, you have to adjust. And good coaches know how to do that. Bad coaches don't. Bad coaches stand at the podium and say, I have no answers. It's on the players. We've done all we can do.
It's their fault.
That's what bad coaches do. And this is where we're at.
Yeah, and JP, I think to go along with that, I think we overestimated Josh Grizzard's ability to pick up where this offense left off. Let's not underestimate that either. We just assumed he was going to come in and do what Liam Cohen did last year with, picking up where Dave Canales left off. And, because we'd already seen it happen once, so why wouldn't it happen again, especially with a guy from the inside that already knew the offense and that was there when it was happening last year. Yeah. Continuity, Matt. In this case, continuity was a bitch because Josh Grizzard is clearly in over his head. I don't even think without the injury issues, we would have seen what we saw last year. I just see things in the scheme that are wrong and that are broken and in the play calling that's broken.
It doesn't.
That's one of the biggest factors in all of this.
It doesn't have the feel of, things being set up and then paid off.
Right.
Setting up certain, and that's the genius of play calling. That it's a chess game. It's a chess game, and the best chess players are 7 moves ahead of the other, and you're anticipating and you're setting things up and you've done the research, you know what their weaknesses are, and you attack them at a certain time. You also, your offense develops as the season goes on.
Yeah.
You understand that if you stay with we had a great game plan, game 1. We'll just do this all year. It doesn't work that way because everybody's going to watch tape. Oh, this is what they want to do. Take this away. Now you got to adjust. Now you got to adjust. Now you got to adjust. That's what the great ones are able to do. And I think Josh Grizzard, will he eventually be a good one? I don't know. I still think that he didn't get much of an opportunity. With all the injuries that they had, I think a seasoned offensive coordinator would have struggled, especially in the second half of the season.
Liam Cohen probably would have struggled a little bit.
I think so.
With his own offense.
It's hard to coach around a bad offensive line. It's very, very difficult. I think it's one of the most difficult things, honestly, because every play you draw up, if it's not blocked, it doesn't work. It doesn't matter how good your play scheming is. If you got a free runner on the quarterback because your offensive guards cannot pick up a freaking twist to save their life, there's nothing you can do. There's no play you can call that works with 2 guys getting 6 yards in the backfield in a second and a half. None. There are no plays that work like that, except maybe screen pass. But that gets old too. So it's been a perfect storm of things that have led to this. But I'll say this. Defensively, they haven't had a lot of injuries, just Cansey for the most part, and that defense has been dog crap all year. It's
the worst side of the ball.
Yes, without question. Yeah. And please stop at 20 points. It should be good. 23. No. If you watch the games in context, when teams have to score and need to score, they score. And when it will, whenever they want, they go right down the field. And that's a sign of a really bad defense, in my opinion. Mike H says Bowles threw the quarterback at signal caller under the bus. Never seen a coach throw players and other coaches under like that. Yeah, that was.
I haven't either.
I thought that was out of character, and because he usually does take the blame, but that was a lot of frustration. Aviation says the more you look at this roster, the more. Oh, sorry, I already did that one. So if you look at the linebacker room and D-line depth and blame Todd, you're not a ball knower. No, listen, the linebackers are not great. But let's also remember this, folks. Todd Bowles has a big say in who the defensive players are. Let's not act like Jason's out there going, okay, here's your guys. Todd has a lot of input in who they draft defensively and who they play. He has the most input, frankly.
Yeah.
So let's just not throw, everybody on it's from a personnel standpoint. Bowles picks these players too. Jason's not doing this on his own with his scouts. It's a collaborative effort, and they've not been good. Frankly, since Arians left, it's been tough. What do you say? Look at what Fowler said today. Guys, let's work on our spelling.
Chris Fowler?
I don't know.
What did Chris Fowler say today? I'll go look it up.
Maybe who's the guy? The tall head, Jeremy Fowler?
Jeremy Fowler?
The team has shut down since losing Liam Cohen last year. Vita Vea needs to be traded for whatever he has. He's hit the wall and is declining quickly. Well, we'll say this. Guys that big, after the age of 30 do decline quickly. They really do. It's hard to, there's a lot of miles, that's a lot of 360-pound miles on those knees and ankles and hips. And it goes quick. All right. What else we got here that I want to get to? Aviation.
Maybe this is what he was talking about. So Jeremy Fowler posted an article on ESPN this morning about potential job openings for head coaches in the NFL. He said on the Bucs, the Bulls buyout would be a hefty one after the team extended his contract through 2028, and the team doesn't seem overly eager to pay that. Bailing on Bulls would be the Bucs' way of embracing a rebuild. But someone will have to pay if they lose to Carolina. Staff changes are not off the table either way. I don't know if that's what he was talking about, but that's what I found.
So it's kind of saying that Bowles is safe. There's a lot of gobbledygook there.
Sounds like he's implying that there's a better chance that Bowles is safe, but everything under him changes. Do you want that?
No.
No.
Because here's the thing. If you're going to strip Todd Bowles of all his duties, so then he becomes a walk-around coach. And what are those guys typically? Typically, they're
Dreamers.
They're great leaders of men.
Yeah.
They're great leaders of men. They're icons. They're, the Mike Tomlins of the world, the John Harbaughs of the world, Parcells. Who else would you put in that? Or did Parcells call plays? I don't think he did. I don't think he called defensive play.
No,
Those
Jimmy
guys.
Johnson.
Jimmy John. Is you fitting Todd Bowles in with that group? Come on. If you do that, if you bring in a new DC and a new OC, first of all, who's going to do that under a coach that is a dead man walking? Nobody. Nobody's taking those jobs. Nobody. So that's just silly to me. Changing out the staff and leaving Todd Bowles is ridiculous. And I'm here to say Todd Bowles is a very loyal man. And I think if you went to him and said, "Hey, you got to fire your entire defensive staff," he'd be like, "Yeah, I'm retired," or "You got to fire me too. Pay me. Bye-bye." Of course, he's not going to do that.
Well, and I will say this: we ran into this situation here in Dallas in 2024 when Mike McCarthy was entering the final year of his deal. There was no extension on the table. We needed a change at DC. You go out and you get Mike Zimmer, who was a longtime head coach, was a DC here and backs coach and everything here in Dallas for a long, long time, going back to the Jimmy Johnson era, thinking dead man walking head coach, I'm going to get offered the job next year when he gets fired. That didn't work out. It's not how it happened. Jerry wanted no part of Mike Zimmer as a head coach. So those scenarios in football happen. And really the only way you're going to get a defensive coordinator for a supposed dead man walking head coach who's, by the way, wants his job. That's the only reason he's there is because he knows or thinks he probably won't be here next year, is somebody who wants to take his job. And that's not a great working environment. That's not a great working relationship to me. It's just dysfunctional all the way around. The only right move is just everything. Yeah. Everybody has to go. And that's not necessarily a rebuild. I know that's what Fowler said. You don't have to rebuild.
I mean,
tools.
I'm not going to be, listen, I think a new coach that came in here I think you're going to hire an offensive minded coach and a guy that can call plays. And I think Todd Monken's name has been thrown out there. He's had some success as a head coach. Obviously he's had success as an offensive coordinator. The Bucs know him. The Glazers know him. I think he'd be an interesting choice. I need to do a little bit more work on him. I didn't love the fact that some of his playoff game plans of Lamar Jackson throwing 50 times were that great. I'm not sure how that whole thing went down.
He run the ball, 4 times in that AFC Championship game?
So, I mean, there's nobody's a perfect candidate. I'm out on Clint Kubiak. I don't think he's ready to be a head coach. No. I think he needs a lot more seasoning to stand in front of a bunch of alpha dogs. I don't think he has, when I watch some of his interviews, it doesn't, and that matters, folks. That matters. You've got to walk into the room with a swag. Your presence is felt.
Yeah.
Bruce Arians, Tony Dungy, John Gruden. I mean, those guys walk in. There's a star factor. There's a gravitas factor. There's a Riz, as my lovely daughter Shay likes to say. He's got the Riz, that charisma. You got to have it.
Todd Monken was the OC in Tampa, right?
Yeah,
but that was under Jameis when Jameis was there.
Yeah, I think it was under Lovey. Yeah, that was a little Lovey Jameis in the beginning. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Do you remember anything about their offenses back then? I mean, were they?
I mean, Jameis always put up points.
Yeah,
for both teams. So they were explosive, and yeah. It's an oldie but goodie. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I got to do a little bit more research on Todd Monken. I know Scott Reynolds loves him. He has a really good relationship with Todd, and, he likes him. I don't know if he's ready to be a head coach, but I'll tell you this right now. I'll take Todd Monken over Todd Bowles any day. Any day.
Oh, God, yes. Any
day. Bring Todd Monken in, and let's go. Let Baker figure, I think that would be a great move. I don't know if, it's a game changer, but I don't know if there's another offensive guy out there that you really, really want to be your head coach. He's in Jacksonville. That was last year.
We'd have to put together a list, yeah.
John Hill says 13,000 Evan bobbleheads given to fans Saturday, but no David bobbleheads. Both may play their last games as a Buck. Yeah, that's kind of a not a very good nod to Levante David.
This one cracked me up, JP, from Andre all day. The special 50th Buccaneers anniversary is a season to forget. That just makes me think the 50th season of the Bucs has gone much the way of the first season of the Bucs.
The second half of it. When you think about it, ever since they released to raise the flags, the flags have come down. The flags have gone to half staff.
Oh no.
Yeah, you will go down. You will go back to that fourth quarter of Falcons game when you took a 2-score lead, 28-14. And what did you do? What did you do, Todd? You turtled again. Rush 4, cover 2, right down the field, twice. Boom. Get a 2-score lead. Go soft. Instead of staying with the defense that's working, let's go soft. Hey, Bell's in here this morning. Says, Happy New Year's Eve. Just stopped by to say I agree on everything y'all are saying. New Year's wishes for Tampa Bay as a new coach. Thanks, Bell. She continues. Hey, BA, that was then. This is now. Even Bruce got to think that's time for a change. Absolutely. It's and we'll do this as a postmortem to the season at some point. I'm frozen. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, you were your camera was flickering a little bit. Why don't we take a break and then you can unplug your camera, plug it back in, and rehook up things, because I think that will probably solve that.
All right, let's do that. Quick break. We're brought to you by the great folks at the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES We'd like to wish you a happy new year and a prosperous 2026. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. So if you're involved in an accident, go to their website, JeevesLawGroup.com, send them an email, get them a telephone call. They will give you a free case evaluation at the Jeeves Law Group. A non-attorney spokesman, offices Tampa and St. Pete. And the great folks at Genesis of Tampa. Last day to get the deal. You buy a car today. Guess what? The first 3 payments, there are no payments. The last one, they will make for you. Or the fourth one, they'll make for you. So that's 120 days of no payments. So get it. Genesis of Tampa, last day to do it. Run on over there. Tell them JP saying. Also sign up for their $500 shopping spree. They're giving one away today as well. All right, back at 3 with more of your comments. Stay with us. At Genesis of Tampa, they got some serious ho going on this Christmas. It's the Miracle Holiday Sales Event and their 30 days of giving. First, for any new vehicle in the month of December sold, first payment will be deferred 90 days, and then the dealership will make the first payment up to $500. That can save you a lot of cash that you can use for Christmas shopping. And every day in December, they're giving away a $500 shopping spree. All you got to do is have your car appraised, and you get an entry into the daily drawing for the $500 shopping spree. And every weekend day in December, customers simply need to stop by the dealership, scan the QR code, and they get an entry into the $500 shopping spree contest. No purchase necessary. Test drive a vehicle, and we will 10x your entry into the shopping spree. Christmas and New Year's Eve, each holiday, if a customer books a test drive for the specified day, they will receive a themed t-shirt, limited edition, as well as an additional $250 off the purchase price. Bottom line is, get your butt and your sleigh down to Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue, just off 275. It's going to be a big Christmas at Genesis of Tampa. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years, where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. Hey, if you get a bunch of those gift cards and now you want to go buy yourself a watch or maybe a nice piece of jewelry, a new chain or something like that, well, head on over to the Gold and Diamond Source. Their after holiday sale is absolutely legendary when they lock Steve up and Julie goes crazy, marking everything down. It's a post-Christmas tradition. So head on over to the Gold and Diamond Source. That great local company does so much in the community and has a great selection of shiny things for you to get. It's the Gold and Diamond Source. New Year's Eve, a great time to get engaged. So run over there, get the ring right now.
Run, don't walk.
At midnight, drop to your knees and ask her to marry you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so romantic. And she throws a glass of champagne in your face and says, get the hell out of here.
You've got roughly what, depending on where you are in the country, listening 11, 12, 13 hours to rectify whatever it is you messed up about 2025. You better go do it now.
That's a lot. I don't know if I have the time for that.
They don't have enough diamonds for that, do they?
No, they certainly don't. Not even there.
Oh boy.
Oh no, it hasn't been that bad. All right. A quick note on USF. I mentioned this earlier. It looks like, well, it doesn't look like it. Deuce Knight is the all-world Auburn quarterback. They played him against Mercer, and he set a freshman record with 400 yards and 6 touchdowns. Mercer, but still, the guy's a great talent, and he has entered the portal in Auburn. Obviously, Alex Golish, former USF coach, did not recruit him. It's a different offense that he's bringing in, and either Deuce didn't like what he saw or heard, or Deuce knows what everybody else knows, that Byrum Brown is going to, who's already in the portal, is going to Auburn. And Keyshawn Singleton is now rumored to be headed to Auburn as well, who is one of his favorite targets, had over 800 yards, 50 catches last year for USF. And they've already lost Chaz Nimrod to the portal. Now, these guys can always come back to USF. So let's not, and I do think it's a little weird that Brian Hartline is your coach who has put that many wide receivers into the NFL, and you want to go to the portal when he's coming as your head coach. Like, I thought that would be one of the benefits.
Might tell you something there, though.
Yeah. I mean, it also tells me that Brian Hartline probably hasn't had a whole lot of time to sit down with these kids, because I can't imagine if I was a receiver with the ability of Keyshawn Singleton or Chaz Nimrod, and Brian Hartline is named as my coach, that the first thing I'm doing is headed to the portal. That doesn't match up. I mean, all these kids want to go to the NFL. Who to better train you for that than Brian Hartline?
Well, and here's a new aspect of this game that we don't talk about maybe enough when it comes to the transfer portal and this time of year. Maybe these guys are just chasing a check.
Yeah.
It could be that. Has nothing to do with the incoming coach. Yeah. They just want to enter the portal, put their name out there, and see who makes them an offer, right? And how big that offer is.
It's called leverage.
Yeah.
Because if you're just going to USF and saying, or Florida State or whatever, hey, I want more money. They go, nah. And then you say, okay, I'm going in the portal. All right, wait a minute. It is what it is. And there's also this that happens, and it happens everywhere. Okay, so you got a new coach coming in, right? There's a lot of rumors out of the receivers that he's bringing with him.
Yeah.
Right? Some are unfounded, I think, but you never know. Is he bringing some of the Ohio State receivers with him? Would you leave Ohio State to play at USF? I don't care how much you like your coach. That just doesn't really sound right to me.
Is USF going to be in the quarterfinals next year for the national championship?
Probably not. And how many years in a row has Ohio State won 11 games?
Yeah.
Like 10 years in a row? Yeah, they're almost an absolute lock to be in the playoff almost every year.
And their NIL budget's probably at least quadruple what USF is.
So, I mean, but those are things that are said. So, guys can come back once they go into the portal, but it sure looks like this is headed towards Byrum Brown and Keyshawn Singleton, and maybe even Chaz Nimrod going to Auburn, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, is how, the Auburn and all the SEC looks down their noses at teams like that USF who go into Florida and win. And it's just, it just means more, but we're going to come raid your coaching and your players and your best. But this is what sucks about college football right now is you go out, you find a good quarterback. Now Golish did not recruit Byrum Brown. That was Jeff Scott. You go and recruit or find a good quarterback and develop them and have great years out of them. And in years past, that quarterback is not leaving, because he's going to have to sit out a year. But in the modern college football, it's free agency every year.
Yep.
And guys are going to go wherever the biggest check is or wherever they think they can thrive the most. And it sucks for the fans. And I'm here to tell you, they're not going to put up with it that long. We love our teams. We love our schools. We're emotionally involved. We're emotionally invested. But even college football fans, which I think are the most loyal in the world, and research backs that up, by the way. Even college football fans are going to say enough is enough. We did it with basketball, right? College basketball, we all loved our college basketball team. Nobody gives a rat's ass about it anymore, unfortunately, because the rosters for years and years and years, the rosters have been changed every single year. You can never follow a team. A team never grows together. And so you lose interest. When you don't know who the players are, you lose interest. And I think that's a lot of that is happening in college football. And then you have programs like USF. Like if you're a fan of USF right now, you're like, why am I going to be emotionally invested in this shit? Even if we have a good coach and good players, they're all just going to leave. That sucks. That sucks. That's not a sport, by the way. If you can't grow with the players and grow with the team and see some fruition to watch that team grow into what it could be, even if there are a lot of programs that figured it out that they if they would build to have a senior class, some of these smaller mid teams, and then to have a great year. You'd see it at NC State and North Carolina, Wake Forest. A lot of these other middling teams, these coaches were like, all right, I'm going to build a team for like a 2-year run, and then we're going to rebuild for 3 years, and then we're going to do another one. And that could happen because guys could stay around. You could teach them the system. They could get really good at what you do, right? And get older, get faster, and get stronger. And then you got a good group together. You can't do that anymore. You can't week to week. You don't know who's leaving, and it's frustrating. And I get it. If I'm a USF fan, I'm like, I'm gonna go, be a Lightning fan. I'm gonna go be a Rays fan. I'm gonna go be a Bucs fan. Oh wait, who's your head coach? It's hard. It's really, really hard. And I feel for USF fans and administrators. I don't think Rob Higgins, and I know he's got big plans, but this is why this job is really freaking hard. You are set up to fail. You're set up to fail in this system that we have right now. Because even if you get good, you're going to get rated. And then you got to build again. What are the chances of going and finding another great head coach? I think you got one in Brian Hartline, but nobody knows.
Yeah.
Being a good recruiter is great. Now you got to manage the salary cap. Now you got to manage players. Now you got to recruit them and re-recruit them every month.
Yeah.
Now you got to choose who plays and who doesn't play. You're not just teaching, the wide receivers the finer points of route running. It's a whole different deal. Is he up for it? We'll find out. I think he's a great choice. I think he's an unbelievable get, but we don't know. And the bottom line is this. If he does really well, he's gone.
And you get poached.
Another one. Yeah.
Just like Golish did.
Yeah. You got to go find another one.
And his name's already on the list of the bigger programs anyway because of where he came from.
Right.
So he's already being watched very closely for his time at South Florida. And someone will pounce on that very early.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even before it's deserved, if there's an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
If he has any amount of success.
Right. So and as we look ahead to tonight's game, Carson Beck, the punchable face of the NIL this year, right? The most punchable face of NIL. And how do you even get behind that? He's just another mercenary coming in to be the University of Miami quarterback. It's just, that's great. If you're a Miami fan, that's great. When he's gone, we'll go buy another one. I guess there's something new under the Christmas tree every year. But it's just, I don't know. I'm looking forward to watching the game, and I'm looking forward to all the games tomorrow. And I'm going to the ReliQuest Bowl because I love college football.
Heck yeah.
I love college football, and I love the atmospheres of college football. And we're going to see a great college football player in Diego Pavia and a great program in Iowa. And it'll be a great collegiate atmosphere. And they always do a great job at the ReliQuest Bowl. I love college football, but these bowl games have become a shell of what they used to be.
Did you get a chance to watch TCU and USC last night?
I did not.
It kind of made me feel bad for bashing these so-called meaningless bowl games, JP. I don't even know what bowl game that was. Oh, was it the Armed Forces Bowl? I don't even remember what it was.
To my point,
Right. I don't remember what the sponsor of the bowl or whatever, but
Yeah.
dude, these kids were out there. It was one of the best football games, period, I have watched, pro or college, all season long. And when TCU won that game, they looked like they had just won the national championship. It was, and I meant to pull video and show it, because when we say these games don't mean anything, they don't matter. Dude, don't tell those kids on the TCU roster that game didn't matter, because good God, dude, I swear you thought they'd all just won the national title, because it was overflowing with joy, obviously. And that, to me, is what college football is about. And you should have more than one team out of every year be able to experience something like that. So, again, when we say all these games, they don't matter to us. That doesn't mean they don't matter to the kids that are playing in it. And then that really what it's supposed to be for the kids.
Yeah.
Their life experience.
Well, it used to be, because the players didn't get any money, that going to the bowl was a big deal because they'd get swag.
Your swag bag, yeah.
They'd get the swag bag, and that was huge because it'd be like, $2,000 in swag or more. And it was a trip. It was fun. They were there all week. It wasn't just going for a weekend. They got to stay in a hotel, really nice resort hotel.
It was the Alamo Bowl, my bad. Yeah, sorry, Alamo Bowl.
Yeah, right there in their backyard.
Yeah, right down the street.
Yeah, and listen, that was a big deal. But the kids get paid now, so they don't care. To them, it's like, you know what? I'd rather go to Cancun.
Yeah, but
I can't, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them for that. Do you want to go play in a meaningless game? You might get hurt. You're going to practice for 15 days. I mean, listen, if I was a freshman or a sophomore, yeah, I'd be like, I want to go play. I want to get better. I want to go to practice. I want to do all that. Yeah, I want to go. But if I'm, on the cusp of even coming back for my senior year or, going to the draft, obviously, then no. That's why we should play these bowl games at the beginning of the season. Here's a quick idea. So during the offseason, these say like the ReliQuest Bowl, they say they have a tie to the Big Ten and the SEC. Well, they can go out and start. Remember back in the old days when the bowl scouts would work these deals with the schools, and then they'd say, "Hey, we're inviting whatever," right? So you let these bowl games go out and do that again, and they go out and they scout. They go, say the ReliQuest Bowl said, we're going to talk to Georgia and we're going to talk to Ohio State, and we're going to offer them a package, and we'll see if they take it. So you have this whole offseason where all these bowls do their thing, right? And you have a certain amount of time to do it. And then let's say a month before the college football season, okay, August 1st, all those games are revealed. Yeah. And you find out where, we're going to go to play in the, in the Sun Bowl, or we're going to go play in the Orange Bowl. When you could set up tiers of these bowl games, and then at the end of the season, you just have your college football playoff. Mm-hmm. But you could have all those bowl games, and every team is going to go play and before the season. So you'd have a lot more bowl games, right? And you get these, and you could play them on site if you want, or you can play them, you can play them wherever the hell you want. And they just announce them, and the players get paid, and we get this opening. You don't even know it about it. And you get these great opening week matchups, and they could either count towards your record or not. You can make that decision, but that would be really fun. Like just, hey,
I agree.
What a reveal that would be. And then everybody would be like, oh, okay, we're going to Dallas to see FSU play, Illinois. Oh, cool. Let's go. Mm-hmm. Let's go. It's going to be a great trip. And the stands would be packed. All the stands would be packed. All the players would be playing. It'd just be really, really fun opening week. But,
yeah. So take a look at this, JP. It's not very long, so I have to show it. And keep in mind, this is a meaningless Alamo Bowl between unranked TCU and number 16 USC in the Alamo Dome, a toilet of stadiums, about 2 hours south of me here in the DFW area. Now, what's happening here is it's overtime. USC's already kicked a field goal on their first possession of overtime, so right. TCU just needs a field goal, right, to keep the game going. And
touchdown wins.
Seals with a check down. Payne makes one tackle, squirts down the sideline, stays
Game winner. Don't tell me that game doesn't matter to those kids.
Wow.
And by the way, TCU playing with their backup quarterback because Josh Hoover entered the transfer portal.
Hey, that just makes me sick. It makes me sick.
Yeah.
When you're a quarterback, and this is the other thing, how much did they pay him? It doesn't include the bowl game?
Yeah,
it doesn't include the bowl game? Like, how do you sign a contract like that? Like, you get your NIL, you got to play in a bowl game.
And what sucks is
contract.
The transfer portal doesn't even start until Friday. Like, you're technically still on the team because you can't enter the portal until Friday officially. I lost a lot of respect for Josh, and he's a local kid here from Dallas. I lost a lot of respect for him, man, and that's a business decision, I'm sure. You know what if you suffer a catastrophic injury? Well, sorry, that's part of the game. You should have been playing for your team.
Yeah, that's sickening to me.
But it was so much fun watching that thing, man, with no rooting interest whatsoever. I like TCU because they're local, they're right down the road, but. And I do hate USC, and I hate Lincoln Riley so much. By the way, for all of you Notre Dame fans who think that Notre Dame belonged in the college football playoff, their best win this year was USC. And USC just lost to unranked TCU in the Alamo Bowl. So there you go.
Uh-oh. Breaking news.
What do we got?
Gene Deckerhoff to retire at the end of this season. It's going to be Gene's last game.
Oh, so he's not announcing it for next season. This is it.
This is it.
Saturday's it, huh?
Unless they go to the playoffs.
Wow.
Well, not shocking.
Not a surprise. Yeah.
Hey, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I'll share some stories about Gene Deckerhoff since I was his color analyst for FSU basketball for 3 years. Traveled with Gene through the Tobacco Road. Boy, do I have stories. So we'll do that when we come back. We are brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. They have a great New Year's Eve party going on tonight. You don't need any reservations, hoity-toity stuff like that. Just go on over there and enjoy all the drink specials they're going to have tonight. They got a list of shot specials. We can't even tell you all of them, but tons of shot specials tonight. So you'll be able to go there, have a really, really good time. A champagne toast at New Year's, DJ, all that fun stuff, all the great food and fun that Riveters for. They're going to be doing it tonight for New Year's Eve. So if you don't have any special plans, grab a buddy and head on over to Riveters. It'll be a great, great time tonight. Back in 3. Stay with us. Holidays are the best time to get engaged because all the family's already together. And at the Golden Diamond Source, they have thousands of diamonds to choose from in their jewelry wonderland. Looking for a gift that says forever? Find stunning engagement rings, diamond earrings, diamond bracelets, the most stylish gold fashion jewelry. And there's plenty for men in their new men's section and watch department. There's something for everyone on your list. And don't settle for anything less than perfection. At the Golden Diamond Source, they make it easy to give a gift they'll never forget. They wrap it up nice for you. You don't have to do any of that, guys. And they have a great staff there. You may not know what to get your lovely wife or girlfriend, but they do. Let them do the work. Hey, finance your purchase for 0% interest for up to 5 years. You could get a $5,000 diamond for only $84 a month. Don't go to the mall. Go to a local company and keep it local this Christmas at the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man, Scott Jeeves. If you're going to hire an attorney, do you want some guy looking for a quick settlement and a quick buck, or do you want an attorney with some chops? Scott is a board-certified civil trial lawyer and a certified circuit court mediator. Been practicing in the Tampa Bay area for over 30 years. He is a peer-reviewed AV preeminent-rated civil trial lawyer. They just don't hand out those classifications. He's been the lead class action counsel on many complex consumer protection cases and has handled hundreds of serious personal injury cases. He's dedicated his career to protecting injured victims and is committed to vigorously representing you. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. Personal injury and personal attention. Call for a free case evaluation. That's 888-9-JEEVES. That's 888-9-JEEVES. The Jeeves Law Group. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. JP here for Third Generation AC and Plumbing. And Third Generation really says it all, folks. The owner, my friend John Rodriguez, has been in the AC and plumbing business since 1995. They built their business on honest assessments and doing great work on time for a great price. Simple, right? Did you know many AC techs are incentivized on big commissions to sell new AC units and you might just need a drain cleared? So if you want someone you can trust, that's John Rodriguez and Third Generation Services. Check out the 5-star Google reviews. If you have a plumbing or AC emergency, call 813-961-8024 and a human will answer the phone. That's 813-961-8024 or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Rookie mistake. Took a bite during the last break.
Eating on the air.
Awful. Can't you do the live reads while I'm doing this?
Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCarTim. That is the mouthful JP Peterson. And I don't have the live reads in front of me, or I'd read you one.
We are brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. 813-877-7799 is the number. Do your insurance checkup at the end of the year where you call them up and say, I got this, I got that, I got this. And they'll shop it all around for you, hopefully save you hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars. And they'll make sure that you're fully insured, that you have your business insurance, that you have your flood insurance, that you have enough homeowners insurance, that you're getting all the discounts that you're entitled to with your homeowners insurance. All that they can do, and they do it for free. Oh, actually, it's not free. You save money in the long run. So Italiano Insurance, no-brainer, 813-877-7799. Let them work their magic for you. Yes.
I have 2 tidbits for you this morning.
Yes, sir.
Number 1 tidbit. Were you a fan of the Billy Joel song, We Didn't Start the Fire?
Yeah, great song.
The
Very
1989 release, the year I graduated high school, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
We had 253 people in our class. They
That's
listed me at number 255 out of 253. I was like, what? Because I wasn't necessarily supposed to graduate, but a very nice teacher who didn't want to see me back the next year turned my grade in late on purpose. So I would have the credits. So JP, that song came out 1989 with the passing, and I don't know if we've mentioned this on the show, of Bridget Bardot, the 60s and 70s sex symbol, Bridget Bardot, who passed away recently.
Beautiful woman.
There are now only 3 people left alive that Billy Joel mentions in that song.
Really?
Bob Dylan, Chubby Checker.
Chubby Checker's still alive?
Still alive.
Wow.
And a guy I thought died a long time ago, Bernie Getz.
Bernie Getz, yeah.
Bernard Getz. And I guarantee you nobody knows who Bernard Getz is anymore these days.
He was the subway shooter, right?
Yes.
Subway shooter, yeah.
The guy that shot the guys trying to rob him on the subway.
Yeah.
Had to go to freaking trial for murder.
The original F around and find out guy.
Yeah. So that song's and by the way, all of those guys, I think the youngest on there is Bob Dylan, who's like 79. The other two are in their 80s. So we're about to enter a time where everyone in the song is gone. And I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it.
It's a historical song, so
It is. I freaking love that song. Did you know that he wrote that from memory?
Yes.
He's a history freak like me. And literally the whole thing he wrote in like 10 minutes.
Well, if you go see the Billy Joel documentary, I think it's on Netflix. Really good, by the way. Really good. It goes some places that you probably think it wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's much more truthful than a lot of the docs that you see.
Yeah.
It's good. Highly recommend.
The other tidbit I have for you this morning, JP, is about the good puppy dog. Now, we all know dogs are smart.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And dogs can pick up on habits.
Yes.
So everyone may or may not know, when I go to the studio, I take my puppy dog with me. Tolo. The name's Tolo. It stands for Turn It On, Leave It On. It's the slogan for our local 105.3 The Fan here in Dallas. TOLO, Turn It On, Leave It On. So I named him Tolo after the station. So I take him with me every day. And we're on the second floor of the studio, right, of the building. Well, he's got food and water, so he drinks a lot of water, and he's got to go, right? So sometimes he'll bug me during the show at my feet, kind of whining. Well, I can't go until the break.
Right.
But I play bumper music before every break.
Right.
Play this, play this, play this. Usually not at the same time.
He knows his bathroom time.
He knows when he hears that music, it is freaking time to go pee, because I just did it here at the house. And, of course, he's here. And, man, as soon as I hit that bumper music, he jumped on the bed right next to me with his tail wagging like, is it time? Is it time?
It's time to go. It's time to go.
He knows that the bumper music means it's time to go pee.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Tally, when I'm doing a show from home, Tally always knows when the show ends. She can tell just by my mannerisms, take off the head, whatever it is. And the ball's in the mouth and she's ready to go.
Oh, that is awesome.
She's ready to go. And she doesn't do it like, I'll take off my headphones in a break. She won't do it.
She knows.
She knows, but somehow she knows when it's 12 o'clock. It's the end of the show. Absolutely.
That is awesome. I love the good puppy dogs.
Smart.
Yeah.
Abel is asking, apparently now they're saying Baker has another injury or something. Do you guys know anything about that? Well, I actually asked Baker about that yesterday, and he's like, "No, we can't blame injuries. We can't blame, blah blah blah." What he's going to say publicly, but he did allow that. Certainly, it has affected the way they've played and some of the outcomes. I mean, he can't deny that. And even though he's now on this is interesting. So today they have him on the injury report with a knee and a shoulder. He's had those injuries all along.
Yeah.
But they've never put him on the injured list, as far as I know. I don't think he's been on the injured list. Maybe for the shoulder, but maybe not the knee. And he's had the oblique, the shoulder, and the knee all year long.
Well, let's see. I don't see him on the week 17 injury report.
No.
For anything. I don't see him on the week 16 injury report for anything. So, this is new, even that he's even on there. And
he's had that shoulder injury since, for 3-4 weeks. We saw him get it happen in the game.
Week 15, they had him ahead of the Falcons game. They had him, but he was full practice with a left shoulder.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, some say it was before it was the left and now it's the right. Well, we know about the left shoulder injury, and are they? I got the report right here. I don't even think they point out which shoulder. Yeah, they say right shoulder. Right shoulder.
It says right shoulder.
Yeah. Which is that would be new. And he was limited, but he's going to play. He's going to play this week. And I guess some of you are like, "Oh, I don't, I'm out." Well, like this one, aviation. I'm out on Baker is injured. He's been injured all year, bro.
Yep.
I mean, come on. Yes, and Lamar's been injured too. He's not playing. He hasn't played. I don't know. people that are down on Baker, I just have to say, who are you going to get for $30 million? That's better. Who are you going to get? This guy he's a great leader. And when he's healthy, just like every other quarterback, and he battles through injuries and he plays hard, he's not the reason. Is he playing great? No. But you don't think that part of his bad play has to do with the offensive line, the receivers, and everybody else? Come on. That's silly. There have been some bad throws. There's no question about it. All those guys you mentioned, they make bad throws too. They throw picks too. It's a tough game. So yeah. So by the way, before we close, we're going to close a little early today because we're getting over to the Relaquist Bowl. Gene Deckerhoff. I had the pleasure, and we'll do a lot more of this on Friday, and maybe even have him on the show Friday. I'll see if he can come on. I had the distinct pleasure and honestly, top 5 things that I've done in my career to be able to travel Tobacco Road with Gene Deckerhoff and call Florida State basketball games, which I did in 93, 94, 95. The thrill of my life to be able to be in, climbing up the fire escape stairs in Cameron Indoor Stadium to get to the Crow's Nest where we did the basketball games. Insane. And then, having to help him up there, get up there, just traveling with the best in the business and how he prepared for games. I learned so much from him with his manila folders and how he kept the time and score on a legal pad, and he'd write down every score so he could keep track of all the runs that were happening in a basketball game. Yeah. And the best thing about it is you didn't get paid by the word, because I probably get about 10 words in each and every game. But you didn't care, like he would call the play-by-play and then he would take a breath and give me about 4 to 5 seconds to encapsulate and analyze the last play. And that was all I needed, right? And you had to be sharp and you had to be quick and you had to know exactly what you were going to say and how you going to say it and get the hell out, because he wasn't waiting for me to stop. Yeah. He'd just plow right in. And that was the rhythm of the broadcast. And that's the way it should be. But it was an absolute thrill and just the best in the business. He is the iconic voice of the Buccaneers. And for years and years, he bought an old motorhome, and he would go do the Bobby Bowden show after the FSU games, the night games. So then he'd do the Bobby Bowden show at Channel 6, which was way the hell out in North Tallahassee. And then his lovely wife, Ann, would take the wheel. He would go sleep in the back of the sleeper, and they would drive to Tampa and park in the parking lot. And he'd wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning and go to work at the stadium.
It's like his own Madden Cruiser.
Yeah, exactly. It was the Madden Cruiser maybe before the Madden Cruiser.
Yeah.
So that's how he would handle all the travel, and he didn't miss many games, unbelievably, many Buccaneers games. But when he did, the old TJ Reeves was there, and I'm hoping that TJ Reeves is the guy that will succeed him. I think that's obvious. So let's hope that happens. He, well deserved.
I mean, JP Peterson takes over TJ Reeves' sideline job.
I think that's a must. It's an absolute must.
I mean, unless they want to get younger at that position.
Hey.
I mean, I was putting that as nicely as I possibly could.
Yes, you did. That was very nice. But absolutely the best of the best, and an even better guy than you'll ever know. The things he did introduced me to Burt Reynolds and let me hang out with him and Vic Prinzi back in the day. I was doing the football games with him as well. And I travel and do the pregame and halftime and postgame shows for football, and get to sit in with Burt and Vic Prinzi and Gene back in the night. I mean, that was just the greatest thing ever. For me, I'm some 24-year-old snot-nosed reporter, and I'm like hanging out with Burt Reynolds and the boys. It was pretty cool. And Gene always made me feel so comfortable, working with a legend like that. And I was just a young kid. He could not have been more gracious. And I thank him for that every chance I get, and just the best of the best. And Gene, we're going to miss you. We hope you stick around, and I'm sure he will, because he loves the game. But we had to say goodbye to him at Florida State a few years ago, and now we're going to have to do that for the Buccaneers. So hopefully this is not his last game. He'll be able to call one more playoff game. But if it is, poor man has to watch this.
What a way to go out.
Poor man has to watch this crap show on Saturday.
You know, and it's very possible that early in the season he made this decision, right?
I think
and the way the Bucs were going, he's like, man, what a way to go out. They're going to make a deep playoff run this year, and it's, I can go out in style. Yeah. And now he's relegated himself to this.
Michael LaRue says Gene Deckerhoff is done watching bowls too. Andre Allday said Gene saw a lot of bad coaches: Perkins, Richardson, White, Morris, Giano, Smith, Cutter. Oh God, indeed he did. Indeed he did. Any other Gene stuff in here? Was Gene the original voice of the Bucs? I believe I think Jack Harris was. Let me double check this. Did Jack Harris call the first year? Stand by. Checking. I should know this. To retired at the end of closing out the longest and most distinguished broadcast tenures in France had history. He voiced 37 seasons. Yeah, so 37 of the 50 seasons.
89 is when Deckerhoff joined.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, because I remember I was in Tallahassee when they announced he was going to do the Bucs as well.
Right.
So yeah, and we came down here and did a story on him doing the Bucs as well. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Jay Deckerhoff here. When toe meets leather. One of my favorite memories about Gene when I was doing the football games is, I'd be in there doing the pregame show, and Gene would come in about 15 minutes before the network broadcast would go on, and he'd sit down with this yellow legal pad and he'd write in cursive, and he'd write his pregame, and and he would just write it out. So, while he's talking to me, like, smoking a cigarette. Back in the day when he could smoke in there, he was like, he'd be like, and then the red light would go. He'd be talking to me like, "Hey, John," call me John back then. Hey, John, and then he'd point to him and he'd go, "Hello, Seminole fans." He'd just go right into it, and he'd just nail it every single time, word for word, just absolutely nail it. And you just got, and I get goosebumps now just thinking about watching him do it.
Yeah. And
I would just marvel at that. And he was so freaking good. His writing was so good, and it was so point. And he said, "I can't wait till toe meets leather."
That's awesome.
Absolutely awesome. Oh, hold on. Scotty Fitz is in here. He's giving me some information here. It was such a research. Who was the Buccaneers radio list of Buccaneers play-by-play guys from 70? It doesn't say. Oh, Ray Scott. Ray Scott is the primary play-by-play guy before him. I thought Jack Harris was doing something. Maybe he was sideline guy. Howdy, everybody. Jack Harris here. But no, it was an absolute highlight of my life and career to be able to work with Gene Deckerhoff in those times. And we almost made it to the Final Four. And we would do we'll finish this on Friday, by the way. Back then in the ACC tournament, when FSU joined, all the radio networks would do all the games.
Yeah.
So we would show up at noon and do NC State Wake Forest. Even if FSU was playing North Carolina at 9.
Yeah.
All the radios would show up and do it and call every game. And that was cool. Of course you had to do the research on all the teams, but that was cool. But that was back when the ACC tournament was like one of the biggest sporting events in America. It was a big, big deal. So congratulations, Gene, on 50 great years of touchdown Tampa Bay. Just the best. Absolutely the best. So, all right, we're going to say goodbye for right now, and or so long for now. We will be back on Friday morning to encapsulate all the games that will be played tonight and tomorrow. Can't believe I'm going to say this. Go Buckeyes. Because I can't say go Canes.
Me could.
God, I don't know who to pull for there. Injury? I'm kidding. Of course. I just want a good game, a good dramatic game. So
we hope everybody has fun
tonight, tomorrow. Happy New Year's, everybody. We'll be back on Friday with a great show for you. We're going to look back on 2025, our favorite stories, and have the most punchable faces in sports. Get your list in now. Have a good day, everyone. Happy New Year's.